Over time, the Europeans lose their posture, leaning to the left. The reason is the wear of the pillows between the frame and the body, which account for the additional load from the fuel tank suspended under the bottom on the left. Treatment: metal spacers under the pillows. Often, owners complain about the rather weak light of the front optics. In many ways, the installation of lamps with increased light output or xenon solves the problem. Experts note that Prado's soundproofing is of very high quality, so its interior is one of the quietest among other Toyota models. Many cars are well equipped: leather, full power accessories, including adjustment of both front seats, climate and cruise control, servo steering, airbag, active safety systems, stabilization, traction control, and anti-lock braking systems. However, there are shortcomings in the ergonomics of the gallery, due to the narrow doorway at the bottom. When getting out of the car, you often touch your toe on the door card. And with runs over 200,000 kilometers, the locks of the mechanism for changing the angle of inclination of the rear seat backs break and knock. Prado was equipped with 2 petrol engines and 1 turbo diesel. Officially, petrol versions were delivered to us, and gray dealers mainly imported just such modifications, so SUVs with solar engines are rare. A 2.7-liter gasoline unit was installed on cars of the first years of production, which was used on its predecessor, and after 2004 a more modern engine of the same volume appeared with VVTi variable valve timing and ignition systems with individual coils, which made it possible to increase its power by 10 horses. According to experts, turbo diesels with a 3.0-liter common rail system are reliable. They easily digest domestic diesel fuel. Another advantage of them is fuel efficiency. In the urban cycle, they consume 12 to 13 liters per 100 kilometers. But their gasoline counterparts are real gluttons: 16 liters, 2.7 liter, and 18 liters, 4.0 liter. By the way, the considerable fuel consumption of a smaller engine is partly due to the fact that this engine is rather weak for a 2-ton SUV, and for normal driving it has to be constantly turned. There are no serious problems with gasoline engines. Unless in a 4.0-liter engine there are leaks in the front crankshaft oil seal, labor and spare parts, about 800 UAH. During operation, both petrols require regular cleaning of the injectors. A 2.7-liter engine, on average every 50,000 kilometers, and 4.0 liters, after 20 to 30,000 kilometers. Pollution of the fuel injectors in the first one is manifested by dips during acceleration, in the second, by unstable idling. The timing of these motors uses a reliable metal chain. A belt is installed in the turbo diesel, which, however, also serves for a long time. It changes along with the rollers and the tensioner every 150,000 kilometers. According to the factory recommendations, the thermal clearances of the valves must be checked every 100,000 kilometers, although in practice they are regulated only during the repair of the cylinder head. Prado is equipped with a transmission with permanent all-wheel drive. The Torsen mechanical center differential divides the moment in a ratio of 40:60, and in the event of a slip, it changes the ratio from 29:71 to 53:47. You can block it if necessary. Significantly increases the off-road capabilities of the Prado with a reduction gear and a long travel suspension. The functions of blocking crosswheel diffs are imitated by electronics, slowing down a slipping wheel. However, this option is the prerogative of more expensive versions with 4.0-liter and 3.0-liter engines. Most Prados are equipped with automatic transmissions, 4-speed, with a 2.7-liter engine, and 5-speed, with 4.0 and 3.0 liters. Mechanics is rare, so the features of its operation are unknown to specialists. However, they have no complaints about automatic machines either. These gearboxes are very reliable and endure increased loads on off-road. Just do not forget that every 40,000 kilometers, the transmission requires maintenance, changing the lubricant in the gearbox, Prado, and the rear axle. Long suspension travel provides Prado with a very comfortable and soft ride, which is especially true for our roads. However, the disadvantage of such a setting is the roll. When cornering at high speeds and heavy braking, the car rolls, nods, so active driving is not a pleasure. The more expensive versions with shock absorbers that change the degree of rigidity are not particularly different in this. Even in the most squeezed position, the car has all the same mild reactions. Such shock absorbers were used on Prados equipped with rear air suspension. It allows you to change the 220mm rear ground clearance, raising the rear up to 250 millimeters or lowering it down to 190 millimeters. By the way, since only the rear is equipped with pneumatics, this option does not particularly increase the off-road capabilities of the model. However, it can add headaches to the owner. Adjustable shock absorbers can become unusable by 90 to 100,000 kilometers, but it costs a lot, about 3,000 UAH. Another weak point is the position, height, sensors of the body, which do not withstand our salty winter roads and often fail. After off-road rides, it is imperative to clean the air suspension compressor filter. If this is not done, the load on the compressor increases and it may fail. The rear axle is a reliable and strong knot. I haven't had to change the rubber bands yet. The weak points of the chassis with the front double wishbone suspension are wheel bearings. The right one serves 60 to 70,000 kilometers, and the left one, about 100,000 kilometers. Moreover, when replacing them, it is also necessary to update the seals of the outer grenades, otherwise the new bearing will not last long. Every 40 to 50,000 kilometers, stabilizer bushings are changed. Ball bearings take care of about 150,000 kilometers, and silent blocks of levers, as a rule, have to be changed due to souring of the adjusting eccentrics and the inability to set the camber of the front wheels. Therefore, mechanics advise lubricating the eccentrics with each such adjustment. In the steering, equipped with a power steering with a variable degree of reinforcement, the tie rods are changed every 60 to 70,000 kilometers. By 80 to 100,000 kilometers, the steering shaft cardan often begins to knock. On cars of fans of fast driving, the front brake discs are often deformed. In order to avoid problems with the parking, drum, brake, every 40,000 kilometers it is recommended to clean and lubricate the mechanism of its drive. It is not enough to have money to buy a used Prado. The future owner needs a stable high income for the maintenance and repair of this model. In return, the SUV will give confidence on any road, high cross-country ability and decent comfort. However, for those who prefer active driving, Prado is contraindicated. We advise them to take a closer look at other SUVs.